Good morning. Welcome to Tarot Time. And if you're watching this as a video, well, we're going to start in just a minute or two. We have our weekly energetic forecast using tarot cards and other divination tools, meditation cards and suggestions, and also a little bit of a community hangout. So if you want, especially if you're new, if you want to say hi and let us know where in the world you're from and interact with the comments and everything, feel free. And that's what we got. It's a very changeable, very volatile, but an amazing time, and a lot of spiritual energy. Continues to build on the planet. And then there's a lot of opposing forces. So we're still in that tug of war. We're trending into the Aquarian age now. It's a really amazing time. I feel like, if you want to look at it as dark and light or good and evil, that we've kind of tipped into the light now or into the good. But those forces do not, the negative forces don't want to give up. So I know from my end, I've had to deal with a few like entity attacks and stuff like that. Not that it's that out of the ordinary when you're public and, have, stating certain agendas, and that can offend people that aren't ready. But anyway, all good here. Let me just say a few quick hellos, and we're going to dive right in just a second. So Mr. Floyd's channeling is in. If you Mr. Floyd, if you like to post when your live channeling's coming up on your channel, feel free. Felicia, hi Carla, the Diamond, Suzette, Anna, hello, Kelly Dolan for Northern California. Lots of prayers going out to California so that everybody's safe from the flooding, potential landslides, and stuff like that. So, of course, there's a lot going on with the climate and the weather, and the Mother Earth, and just constantly trying to maintain a certain balance. And whether it's the energetic shifts that are happening in the planet, carbon emissions, whatever it is. I think it's a combination of a few things. The climate and the weather are reacting. Remember, the Earth is living just like we are. So, hello, Laura, Millie, Chris, hi, Blindly Inspired, hi, Colleen, hi, Bonnie. Oh my God, you guys have been busy. Hi, Christine, hi, Michael. I know I'm missing a few people. Hi, Jody. So Christina, hi. Um, and if I missed you, I apologize. Hi, Carol. Hi, Petra. Claire, welcome. All right. So what we like to do, start out with a meditation card for the week that'll be very connected to our collective energies in this community. And the way that I talk about meditating with tarot cards, like any other meditation, you get very present, very relaxed, very in your heart. Always presence and heart coherence is the way to go. And if you're able to do those things, get present and get coherent with your heart, then your brain becomes coherent, and then you become coherent with spirit, and that's where the magic starts. So spirituality, so I'll start out this way. Spirituality, according to many great teachers like J. Krishnamurti, for example, is not a matter of daily increase, it's a matter of daily decrease. And why is that? Because you're already spirit. You can't get more spiritual than you are right now in this present moment. So to become more spiritual, you want to peel away those layers of the onions that block that awareness, block that knowledge of who you truly are. So the spiritual path is really coming back to the self. It's the art of selfishness, maybe in a way it is, because when we talk about our spiritual growth, a lot of the energy goes to us, but it's not selfish like going out till you're drinking at bars till 3 a.m. and saying F you to your family. It's self-awareness and self-growth. So by placing attention and focus on ourselves, our spirits, our higher selves, and so forth, we're becoming the best that we can be. And then that way we can be the most selfless and help and offer the most to others. So hopefully that made some sense. Anyways, anyhow, um, So getting back to meditating with tarot cards. So we get present, open heart, open mind, open to spirit. Then in your mind, step into whatever card you're meditating with and be part of that scenery. As you step in the card, the first thing is, how do you feel different, or what do you feel? And from there, you may get messages, you may see beings, you may see images, you may smell, taste, touch, or hear things, but you're stepping into a different energetic vibration and universe. And tarot itself, the origins could be from several different sources. It's not 100% clear where tarot came from. We do know that back in, I don't remember the year, I think it's King Ferdinand II in Spain, there's an artist named Bonifacio Bembo that did, or Bembo. Anyway, he did these prints called tarot, and it became a game, like playing cards. Modern playing cards came from tarot cards. But scholars later on noticed that a Renaissance artist used a lot of medieval depictions in the artwork to create the tarot, or to create the tarot. So they did some research and found there's roots in the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, perhaps even in ancient scriptures that wound up in the Bible, and stuff like that. And I, in my meditation and my studies, I look at it as the book of life, and that every possible situation that we can experience in a human life, from the very spiritual to the very mundane and material, it's depicted in these 78 cards, basically. So that's the kind of the way that I look at it. So anyway, little bit of a brief history lesson. By the way, my main source for that is 78 Degrees of Wisdom by the late and great, what's her name? Oh no, I forgot the artist's name. It'll come back to me. I know some of you know. Rachel Pollack, thank you. Rachel Pollack, yes. Hi, Katie. And yeah, like I said, our Sunday mornings has kind of become a community hangout in a way also. So feel free to just when I pop in, hi Cosmic Dragon, when I come, when I'm aware and I see I might flash a couple of your comments. That's what I'm trying to say. I may flash a couple of your comments, and for example, it may take time as needed. We've noticed different things that never before is needed, original deck, etc. I feel it begins a story that needed. Thank you for that. Excellent observations. Oh yeah, I haven't used this shirt for a while. This was given to me by Carl Kraus, who's was a client back in the late 90s, 2000s, or actually the 2000s, because that's when I started my mediumship work. And I did a reading for him. We got the name Frank coming through, and opera. And I didn't know this at the time, but Carl was an opera accompanist. His partner, Franco, was a tenor, I believe. So they were a couple of 30 years, and then Frank passed on, basically. So he came through in the reading, and then we became friends. And just so happens that Carl's deceased partner just happens to be my size, so he gave me some clothes, and this is one of them. And so anyway, the history of my shirt. So we go from the history of tarot to the history of Adam's shirt, and oh good, nobody's like bailed yet. Good, just kidding. But then, anyway, thank you, Felicia, for the comment on my shirt. Okay, so what is our meditation card for the week? I am asking Spirit. The idea when we work with any divination or any spiritual tools for that matter, first step is, again, get present. I don't want to be my personal egoic thinking mind. I mean, I don't hate my ego. We need egos in the world sometimes. But for spiritual work, I want to step out of that and then step more into a higher vibration of spirit. And then by doing so, my guides or the guides of the tarot can guide my hand to the right card, you see. So clearing my mind, and I found it. All right. So as a meaning, the seven of wands or rods puts you in a position of advantage in your situation, but acknowledges challenges also. And it's kind of describe my week. I did talk. I had a few. I don't want to say attacks or put any negative intention in the experiences, but suffice it to say, when you are on a spiritual path and you are changing your vibration and raising your vibration, well, we still are in a 3D reality that's subject to both high and low frequencies, and the low frequencies don't want you to be in the high frequencies. So what happens? It tries to balance you out and sends lots of negativity. So our jobs, if that happens to you, it's probably, if it's been a theme for me, it's probably been for a lot of spiritual people also. It's just part of the shift as a collective consciousness. We're really shifting out of that kind of fear, control, negative based mentality or energy, and coming much more into our power. So, the forces, the old stuff doesn't give up easily. That's partly on us. It's not like we're being a victim and saying, "Oh, I'm under attack. Oh, those terrible entities or whatever." But rather, we want to take responsibility and understand that we attract everything into our life. It's energetic. So if somebody like really screws me over for whatever reason, I could either just be a victim and just be angry at that person and just say, that horrible person or whatever, or I can look within and say, what inside myself attracted this situation to me in the first place. And if I'm able to do that, then I'm able to transcend the negativity of the experience. And granted, people still do nasty and terrible things to us, and that's going to happen just as a consequence of living. I think you understand that. So, getting back to this card, Seven of Wands. So, as you get really relaxed and meditate, just step through. What do you feel like? Just like if you're walking into a room or a house and you feel a different energy, just gauge the energy. Don't think about it or try to analyze it or judge it or ask yourself what it means. Just be in the experience, just be in the now, be in the moment, and feel it, and then just see what comes to you. Just be in that energy. You may meet other beings that are not visible in this is like a very narrow, slim doorway into a whole new reality. You may wind up in nature somewhere. You may have your animal guides come to you, your angels come to you. You may just get messages and so forth. So that's our meditation card. And again, the meaning is, just understand if you've been having some challenges, whether it's with other people or energies or entities or the world at large or whatever, just know that you're able to hold off the negativity, that you're standing above it. um, that's what they're doing. You're fending it off, and you're above it. So that's the thing to understand, that as when we're aligned with spirit or source, no matter what happens. What was it? The book of Job, I think, in the Old Testament, or I've been really into Bible quotes lately. In fact, I did a short form video, I think yesterday, on a passage I came across from Mark 11:24 in the New Testament, actually, thanks to an Eckhart Tolle video. It made me aware of that. And the quote is, when I may be paraphrasing it, but when you pray, you want to. I should have had the quote right in front of me. It had the exact quote. So when you pray, feel like it is already given and it shall be so. And this was Jesus talking, law of attraction. When you pray, feel like it is already given and it will be so. And what do the Native Americans teach? What do the law of attraction teachers teach? You want to be the vibration of that which you desire, then you can become magnetic to it. So, I can use the medium channel as an example. Slow and steady wins the race, but we're almost literally but virtually growing every day, and that's my intention. So Am I asking God, oh please, get me more subscribers, get me more viewers? Or am I sitting in prayer meditation, feeling grateful for all the new attention that this channel is getting, all the great information I'm able to share with the world, all that stuff. And I make it real in the moment. It's real in my heart. And then you become a vibrational match. So anyway, Bible quotes, a lot of powerful wisdom in the Bible. By the way, the book of Matthew is still my favorite, but they all have their moments. They all have really good stuff. And it's, how am I today, Christine? I'm doing great, thank you. Hi, Beth Healing. I didn't see you come in, but I see Millie saying hi to you. And Joe Dispenza, Joe Dispenza is quite amazing. He's also a master of marketing and repackaging, I have to say also. So, I love his breath techniques, but I can also trace it back to yoga techniques that I've learned also. But I mean, I love all the teachers, but the thing about Dr. Joe that I love the most is for me, he speaks my language. I mean, not Italian, but he speaks my language, and he just explains things in a way to me that's so clear and so understandable. I mean, I could listen to that man talk for hours, honestly. Anyway, let's do a 3-card spread for the week. And say you've been doing a lot of spiritual therapy protection lately. So one of the key things about protection is, for me anyways, and if this resonates with you, great, is not to use the word protection so much, but maybe that I'm safe. Although, and I guess any word can have a fear-based or positive connotation. But anyway, I don't want to see myself in need of protection. I want to feel like I'm powerful. My shields are impenetrable, and that I'm naturally already protected. So when I do protection rituals, just to enhance that energy, that I already have. Hopefully that makes some sense. Oh my goodness, you guys have a lot of Revelations is up there also, Felicia. Yeah. And I swear that when I had my awakening, that John, I think there's actually 3 Johns in the Bible. I think John was the scribe, right, for Revelations. It's been a while since I read it. But I love Revelations also, and Yolanda saying he's cool. Metatron been coming up a lot lately. Yes, I've been working with Metatron a lot myself. Yes, according to what's his name, Steve Noble, and other teachers, Metatron is the angel that opens up to the Christ grid, or the central sun. An angel saying you've been watching the constantly airing for the Schumann updates these days. She uses this deck called the Tutorial Tarot. It has tarot and card. Oh wow, nice. It's 11:22. By the way, which one's pink? Yes. Have a cigar. You'll go far. I've been listening to a lot of the really old Pink Floyd, the Syd Barrett days. And after the Syd Barrett days, the keyboardist did most of the vocals, and then David Gilmour picked up a lot of the vocals, and then Roger Waters, who I think has the best voice of the 3 of them, Gilmour and Waters, started to do more vocals, as the albums went on. At least, so I've been listening to a lot of Pink Floyd lately. It's sort of revisiting, because I've always loved that band. Anyway, so I'm clearing my mind. There's another shout out to Mr. Floyd. So this is for our week, the week, in the world at large. See what trends we can pick up on, maybe things going on in our lives, what to watch out for. I mean, I'm very optimistic. I love the energy of this Aquarian season. I mean, yeah, there's still a lot of hoops to jump through. There's still a lot of obstacles in this world to get through, but the general nature is we're heading in the right direction. And as that happens, there'll be setbacks, and there'll be climate stuff, and we're seeing a lot in the news. Some of it's to prep, we'll say, or scared might be a better word, the population into submission. But we're seeing a lot of flexing of muscles of different countries. Of course, Iran gets in on the act, and there'll be other things going on. The Koreas, all that stuff is coming. So but I maintain, and I still maintain, I do not see World War III on this planet. I think we can get pretty close to it, and have like these separate wars are going on. I mean, I think there's last I checked, I think there's 21 active wars on the planet. We only hear about 2 or 3 of them. I wonder why, but there's more than that going on. Oh, okay. Here, Felicia knows a thing or two. So let me put that. Yes, John is a scribe. I was an Egyptian scribe. Oh, wow. I love writing and dream journaling. Yesterday morning meditation and heard. Where were you in 1635? Oh, wow. I have a feeling this just popped in my mind. You may have been helping people. I don't know if bubonic plague was active during that year, but I could see you almost being like a missionary and taking people in, Felicia. That's how it just popped in my mind when I was reading your comments. But maybe you'll get a different message. All right, clearing mind, calling on the angels, calling on my guides, calling on the tarot guides, calling on the master teachers. Get me the right cards for us. This one. Okay, you got 3. For those of you that are new, you'll appreciate the technology that I use to display the cards. The old clipboard. Okay, the feeling that I get's a lot of chaos and confusion. The first thing that I would say for you guys in this community, including myself, is just to be aware that there's people out there that may try to be confusing you, gaslighting you, kind of getting you off your game now. Just little things. I don't feel like this is major for most of us, but just to be aware of that. Now, since the family card, the 10 of Cups, we lead in to the reverse. Don't be surprised if close friends or family members get a little bit agitated for whatever reason. I want to say this almost feels like dropping a bomb in a way. So I think for some of you, somebody may just come out, at you with something really heavy, like something they've been harboring for a while. So people are of course very agitated. I mean, there's hopeful signs. I mean, people that follow mainstream news, for example, that they're telling us that the economy is very strong now. I mean, I think in some ways it is. In some ways, it's still very much a house of cards, and to stay aware. You're not afraid or fear based, but to stay aware, basically. 2 of Pentacles reverse. Also, that's the Juggler. So I think a lot of us just need to be very grounded this week. A lot going on behind the scenes. I'm just kind of seeing. It's funny. I was saying I'm seeing like some demonstration. Then they're showing me oil pipes. So there may be some environmental activity around the pipelines, around that. And, they're flashing me into Europe. So Germany, I know there's been a lot of pushback. There's a lot of demonstrations going on in the world. People are waking up. The control systems are really suffering, which is a good thing. And I'll quote Peter Gabriel again because I love music, and I love this quote from his song Biko about Bantu Stephen Biko, the apartheid activist that was killed in the 70s in police custody. And that's just the line that you can blow out a candle, but you can't blow out a fire. Once the flame begins to catch, the wind will blow it higher. Meaning that again, I mean, I don't think I have to explain what that means. We have an intelligent group here. but we're creating a bonfire is what's going on. The more people that are awake, that are awakening, sometimes it starts with just awakening to the ways of the world. Your spiritual awakening is different than political awakening, but when you have spiritual awakening, you can't help but to be more politically aware also. So more people are aware, they don't like what's going on, they see that, under the guise of democracy and freedom, that there's still that element of control. There's still that element of slavery that goes on in the society. I had a session with somebody this week that was actually, experienced firsthand the sex trafficking, with the children, like the pornography rings and everything. And you know, it's interesting to to hear what she had to say about it. Also, that validates a lot of what people suspect about that whole thing. And I'll just use that. I will flash this because I couldn't agree more with you. Um, that's my take too. I'm looking at that, and people are especially people that are more democratically minded, or more liberally minded, are kind of using these stories. I'm like, whatever, out in the real world, people are still scared, the inflation is very bad. It's not an accident from where I'm sitting. Basically, what does inflation do? It actually makes the poorer people more poor, is what it does, and then the richer people more rich. Because, if you have unlimited money, it doesn't matter if prices are going up, right? So again, to me, and I don't know the details. I'm not an expert, but what I sense about it is it's still more attacks on the poor, basically, and even the middle class becoming poor and maintaining that control system. If people are afraid, if they're going to lose their home, they're very easy to control and manipulate. So, to me, it's all a facade. So thank you for that comment, Michael. Yeah. Um, there's ice and snow free. Hi. Oh, you're on your way to work, Mr. Floyd. Excellent. Yeah. Um, I know you guys have had a lot of cool comments here, but you guys are a little quick. Huda, I just hi Huda. Oh, okay. Meow. Yeah, it's like a big coming out party. Yeah. We are here to love them too. Absolutely. Haters going to hate. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. All right. Nice. Nice comments, everybody. Bible area read on taxes. Wow. Fear based. We are the new natives. Kind of, an interesting thing. And this was, I think, in my 2024 forecast. That and my February forecast is on the channel, obviously, already. That um what and I read this years ago in a book called The Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ, and what they said in that and other texts is that every epoch, or every 2,000 years or so, there's a disciple, or a a I guess disciples the right word. Jesus was the last one, like a direct descendant of God, or whatever you want to call that. And what's going on 2000 BC? Was that Moses' era? But they're saying that in every era that there is a manifestation of God, basically in human form, and Jesus, or Yeshua, was the last one. But what they're saying this time around, it's not just one, there's several. It's not just one teacher, but a group of teachers. Anyway, we'll see how that pans out. So anyway, Pentacles. Sometimes Pentacles involves money. There may be a couple of laws or mandates. Is that the word? Because there's subtleties in terminology. Like mandates are not laws, basically. So if a mandate's given, that's not a law. It's something different. But anyhow, also let go. This is like, and let me go a step further than that. Firstly, you can't let go to anything you haven't embraced first, because all otherwise all you're doing is suppressing. Basically, it's like, oh yeah, I let go of that person that you took my children away and blah 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 10 years ago. I'm like, no, you didn't. You just suppressed that experience so you can keep on going. But whatever you suppress vibrates within you, and you attract things in your life to match that frequency. You can only let go until you embrace the experience with love first. And then what happens is almost like that energy blends with you, and then you release the negative effects of that. And in my power attunements program, we have a technique to do exactly that called the golden flame that's very effective. And by the way, the power attunements course is starting this Thursday, 7 o'clock, a 5-part class on my channel program for empowerment, to learn how to manifest your reality. So of course I'm not going to spend time now to talk about it, but there's going to be information on the pinned comment. Very well priced, includes 2.5 hours of pre-recorded material, 10 hours of classes, and it works. That's how I healed my body when doctors couldn't. Applying these, it works. So anyway, more information on the pinned comment when this becomes a video. What are you guys saying? Shadow and face now to see, heal, forgive. Let me show you guys what this is saying. And I'm sure hypnosis needed. A Ho'oponopono is an amazing practice. I agree. Thank you. Yes, please. Being genuine, yes, it's the same in return. Yeah, again, letting go or being in your power doesn't mean letting people, screw you or get over on you, right? So, we have to be spiritual warriors in this world. So Chris is saying, what's Chris saying? Having strong boundaries, sticking to them really helps. Absolutely, I've had to do that this week. Yeah, uh, and Chris is saying, yes, I heal myself from. And yeah, so you understand, yeah. And my healing started when I stopped being angry about my condition. It was a very torturous condition that I carried with me for almost 60 years of my life. I've been about 7 years free now. So we'll say about 58 years. First step was losing the anger, because that's victim mentality. And that's when miracles started to happen. That's when I was guided to the right diets, but the most thing was mind over matters. Like in my mind, I was well. There was no eczema. There was no autoimmune conditions. None of that existed. And now those moments, everything was perfect. Took me 3 years, but and you using and healing leaky gut syndrome. So doing the two in tandem, it's like I healed that. There's other things also, but anyway, point being is that we can do it. All right, so I will keep up, Chris. Absolutely, congrats. Yes, absolutely, congratulations. So what's going on with the BRICS nation or mass amounts of gold, especially China? That figure they will eventually have a gold backed commodity. Yeah, they're letting the U.S. destroy its economy. Yep. Absolutely, absolute truth. Yeah. And if the Western world is smart, they'll go back to the gold standard also. In my opinion, anyways. Um, my favorite rant on the world, especially when it comes to China, is 70 years they've been a communist country and public enemy number one to the so-called free world and Western world. But in 70 years, the world cannot figure out how to not rely on China exports. So basically, the world is still supporting China, even though they're the enemy. Um, Emperor's clothes, anybody? Let's see through these illusions and see what's really going on in the world and what the real power structure in this world is. That way, we can come into our own power and change it. Basically, right? I think so. So let me move on. I've got lots of divination tools. What else about this? Don't believe the media. I feel like try to solve your family or friend issues quickly. If you need to let people go in your life because you're evolving and they're not, or they're evolving in a different way, it's okay, because that's just the reality that we live in. As old people leave, new people that more are in line with your evolving frequencies will come into your life. So no worries about that. So solve things quickly. Try to communicate quickly if there's a problem right now. Don't accept other people's energies. So in other words, don't let them dump emotionally on you at this time. Well, any time really, but that's kind of what this card is saying also as well. Um, be aware of scams, because this is the rip-off card in the tarot. Scams are, I probably get a half dozen of them every day. I may be exaggerating a little bit. Now with AI technology, they're even harder to spot. And especially on social media, the end game's always to get your password or sensitive information. Don't give that out to anybody. And a very popular scam that's going around now is you'll get something from Meta that your Facebook or whatever is going to be shut down in 24 hours if you don't answer something that you violated community standards. Don't do that. Facebook will just shut you down. They won't give you a warning. Just to let you know, if you get a message from Facebook about that, it's a scam. They'll usually what they'll do is they'll shut certain functions down for an hour, um, and then if that doesn't work, then a week. Don't ask me how I know that, but that's how they operate. So be aware. Don't give passwords out, to anything, anyone. They're more sophisticated. So keep and keep in the heart. That's every week. Stay in the heart, saying that, and work on what's out of balance in your life also, because the Two of Pentacles reverse feels a little bit unbalanced, and and try to be in the habit of not giving the squeaky wheel the grease. Give everybody the same amount of grease, because I feel like with a lot of us that we kind of acquiesce to people because they're uncomfortable. Their energy is uncomfortable and negative. So again, the more in your heart you can be, the less that's going to affect you. Actually, ironically, the more you'll feel their energy, but the less it'll affect you or dictate your actions and movements in life and stuff like that. But I think and I think what's going on is there's a lot of these things going on with demonstration with governments, police, the same old. But again, it's all part of the awakening. I think there's just a lot of challenge and a lot of pushback now, and we're coming into a new moon, and that's going to shift the energy. That's on Friday, and of course we'll do a transmission here, and I believe Heather Istar is going to join us for the um 20-degree Aquarius new moon that's coming up. 20 degrees is awakening. Aquarius it is community, evolution, revolution, and higher mind. So this is an important one, and that's going to be followed by a brief period where 4 planets plus the sun are all going to be in Aquarius until I think it's Mercury that moves into Pisces first. So one of them moves into Pisces. And anyhow, so I have my Native American deck also. Yes, Spirit saying, because all of a sudden the economy popped up in my mind, and Spirit saying, be aware of them trying to put band-aids on a gaping wound. Basically, it's just, and then saying everything's fine or everything's better. Oh yeah. Unemployment went up 0.01%. Everything's great, or down. I mean, 1% or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't want to say anything that I'm not 100% sure about. I mean, there's conspiracy theories, there's conspiracy facts. Some theories become facts. Some are just plain ridiculous. But whatever the case, don't necessarily listen to what they're saying about the economy or anything. Do a little bit of research, trust your heart, don't be afraid. That's the main thing. If we can stay out of the guilt and shame emotions, then we have a better idea, because we're more in our power. We're getting more through pure intuition, rather than our survival based emotions giving us the messages. Fear and guilt are survival-based emotions. All right. So anybody's coming on late, well, you can come back when we're done and catch all the rest of it. Hi, MSJ. And you schedule a reading, MSJ, by emailing us info@atombetweentheworlds.com, info@atombetweentheworlds.com, or the website is atombetweentheworlds.com. So there you go. All right. So these are my Native American tarot. I've got a lot of divinations actually. Well, the Fool. I love the Fool card, and whether it's a Native American Fool or European or Western Fool, the Fool is really about. It's like spirit before manifestation. It's zero, right? Zero's the void. So this is the energy of spirit before manifestation. So this is telling us that we are at a point now where we can just kind of be like at that 0 point. Like it's in is I don't know if Children's School of Yoga is on Doreen, but if so, she can correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe it's called Shunya in Sanskrit, the 0 point, or that point of pure presence where you're just blended with everything. So this is really good. This shows this could be a fresh new start. Fools are wise when they take appropriate risks. Fools are foolish when they take risks that are inappropriate. So there's a fine line of difference. So the fool could be very wise or the opposite, basically. And the fool could be either key 0 or key 22. So 22 is a master number. So in the major arcana, in the fool's journey, the fool is both the beginning and the end. So in tarot, just like every other system of spirituality that's valid in my humble opinion, anyways, it's all like it's all a circle with no circumference. So the starting point is where you are right now, but it never ends. So when you come to the circle, then you start the cycle over again. But it's a new cycle, but it's an old cycle at the same time. So new beginnings. So that's very cool energy to come up. Let's see. Okay, this would be Kyle Gray's Divine Masters. Is it called? Or I think it's called Divine Masters Oracle. Let me see. Quickly get a message here. Ishtar, inner learning, follow your heart, truth prevails. So Ishtar is also very close to Easter, right? Like Ishtar and Easter. So there's a correlation around the spring equinox. So we just had a Imbolg candle mass, which is the halfway point between between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. Now, Spirit just popped in saying, the astrological in between point this year is actually the 5th, which would be tomorrow. Now when I'm done, I'm going to check my calendar to see if that's true. They're saying it's really the 5th, but it's celebrated on the 1st or the 2nd. And this is the return of the light, the return of the light, the first stirrings in the earth. I believe Groundhog Day is some kind of a loose translation of some of the Celtic celebrations where, Imbolg means in the belly. So, by the way, those of you that watched the February forecast, when I talked about the groundhog seeing the shadow, that was a joke. I should have actually vibed on it and gotten the right answer because Ponce Phil did not see a shadow, basically, and I said that he would. So it's like, oops, but that was a joke. All right, anyway. And who that's saying today into tomorrow. So the 4th into the 5th is the center. Yes. So inner learning, follow your heart, truth prevails. See anything else? I should have had the book with me because there's always other meanings with that. But it has that very, very mystical. I'm seeing if I can. I think that's good. So follow your truth, follow your heart. If something doesn't feel right, you look into that, because And if you're following your heart and following your truth, again, this could lead into some of the stuff that was coming up here, that you may get pushback from the society, from the collective consciousness. As we would send more to the light and all that, we're still part of a collective field of energy that still has a prevalence of fear and negative forces interacting on it. So you get that pushback, and you just really have to stay in your heart. Hearts are immune to negative program. You can't be programmed in your heart. It's literally impossible. Only the brain can be. So when you're in your heart, your brain becomes coherent with your heart, and then your mind is resistant to negative programming also. One of the many reasons we advocate, teach, and do heart-brain coherence around here. Okay, interesting. So I have a deck I haven't used for a while. It's called the Divine Abundance deck here. So this will give us a message for this week about us. Yeah. All right. Get right to this card. Non-duality. So that's the card, and there's a meditating figure within a it looks like the heart chakra lotus, but I might be mistaken. With the Star of David, and the message is, let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. So there's really like a blending of energies that's going to help to enhance our abundance at this time, basically. So thank you, Pauline, for sharing that information with us. Thank you very much. Katie saying Star of who? Star of David. Is there another name for Star of David? But in any event, it's kind of like the what is it? The two-dimensional Merkaba, basically, right? Also, so it's a very powerful symbol. All right, and they're sitting in the inside of that in the circle, and basically traveling through the cosmos, and we do that through non-duality. Understanding we live in a dualistic universe, that's the physical universe, but we can transcend that into the oneness, basically, or the source of all things. That goes back, by the way, to the Fool card. So it's always like we're always connecting the dots around here, which is spirit before manifestation. The void. You have zeros like the divine yoni, right? If you use your imagination a little bit, where one is the first number of manifestation, that's the divine phallus. So there you have it. So that's the active principle, and zero is the void, or spirit before manifestation, ready to get impregnated by the divine phallus of creativity and life. So we have more to come. More. Who's next on the list? We have the Isis Oracle, and of course, Mr. Floyd does an Isis Oracle reading, almost daily. All right, here we go. This is the card they want. If I can get this out. Portal of Light. So this is the card, Portal of Light. She glides on wings through time and space. It's funny, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking of a song by Genesis called Lily White Lith from The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. When the line is, she leads me through the darkness where I have to face my fears. The darkness closes in on me. I don't remember the rest of the lines, but anyway, I feel like one of our messages is we can call on a new guide or an old guide, as it were, because we're in the transition. We're kind of like in that birth canal of our collective awakening now. And sometimes we need, some guidance through, the symbolic darkness of life, which is just, not non-knowing or non-seeing or non-awareness, as it were. So anyway, so we have help, so we have help guiding us to our next level of light, basically, this week. That's what they're trying to say. Thank you, Huda. I'm going to post that also. So, from duality and non-duality, we use the new moon as the portal of light to help us in our truth. So I'll keep that in mind, or Spirit will remind me. Spirit will remind me on Friday when we do the channeling with the master teachers to that principle. They'll remind me. All right. What else? Frequency of the week. Can't forget that. This is the what's the name of this deck? Sacred Geometry cards. Tantric journey. We've got we this is a repeat. This is number 3 times. We're all taking this tantric journey, which doesn't necessitate sex, by the way, just to be clear. And the frequency of tantric journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with another. So that's interesting. So, be open and aware to those sensual experiences. They're not always sexual, but our physical senses are mirrors of our spiritual senses. So we have vision with our eyes, but we also have clairvoyance, how we see through our spirits, energetically, basically. So the art of tantra can, through divine union, can make us aware of our union with source, through divine union with another person in more couples, or I think it's called red tantra sometimes. White tantra is a Kundalini yoga practice that I did one time, and it was awesome, hard and awesome. Yes. And Huda that knows a lot more about Vedic philosophies than I do, saying Shiva Shakti, the divine mirage, through the Shusumna. So you might also understand the expression Shunya, meaning the 0 point, or that point of absolute neutrality. Also, all right. Oh, you know what? Let me just hold this up for a second, so you guys can actually, because the message is in the energy, not in my interpretation. It's in connecting to this divine sacred geometry and letting yourselves develop a blending effect with it, basically. Are we good? Done? Okay. I know that was kind of quick. So I have Steve Farmer on deck with messages from your animal spirit guides. So who's going to be our totem animal for the week? So Mr. Floyd, just hard. I love hawks. I saw a big one yesterday. In fact, hawks are heartfelt, reaching and appearing to me in divine ways. A moment. 0 point portals make sense. Yeah. And thank you, Paulie. Moon shines fully. Just we only see phases like, yeah, absolutely, right. These cards on fire. Lilith, dark light. The no good, bad, just use. Dark light, no good. Yeah, Lily White Lith. That's the name of the song. It does have a little bit of Lilith symbolism in it, basically. Also, I get that from the song. Interesting album, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. From the best of what I can discern from it, it's about a a graffiti artist from the Bronx, tripping on acid in Manhattan. Basically, it's when I'm able to get that, because the song. Anyways, I'm digressing, but I do that from time to time. So let me bring my energy back into my center, not talk about music right now, and ask Spirit to give me the right card for our totem animal of the week. And this would be it. I was seeing a leopard in my mind, and I'm not that far off. I got a tiger. Um, and you're being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing that. That's a great message. So for us, that could be in a big way, that can be in a small way. um and um and tigers also have stealth as well, right? That's when I look in this card, I'm seeing stealth, strategy. That's the art of the warrior, strategy. We need to be spiritual warriors. We need to be impeccable. We need to be pure of heart. We need to be clear and open, and we need to be able to provide strategy basically in our lives. Because warriors want peace. True warriors do not want war. We're trained in war because in this world sometimes we need that, but our hearts are in peace, basically. So again, that's that yin and that yang. That those opposites that are really one and the same. Um, Good and evil all come from the same source, right? It's just two sides of all that there is. So if we're able to blend that, we're able to get back to source. And I forgot which translation of the Bible it was, but in one of them, in the story of Lucifer, at the end of the day, Lucifer, goes back to God, after, wreaking havoc on planet Earth, and with a third of his angels and all that stuff. When the day's done, he returns back to God. And what does humanity do? They rebuild on stronger foundation because they learned and grown through the experience. So again, light and dark are just part of the whole. We've been in the age of Kali Yuga, right, which is considered more of a dark age. And depending on which text you read, some texts say we still have about 30,000 more years of Kali Yuga, or 20,000 more. But others say the Aquarian age is really coming out of the age of Kali Yuga, which feels right to me. Names may be a little bit different, but it's almost like the light is starting to win out. So we come into a period of light that's going to change things. And then, later on, as the circle continues, we'll go back into a dark phase. But dark can be peaceful. It doesn't have to be negative. Nights can be very peaceful. And I love this time of year because I'm here in the mountains. So, I don't get a full view of the sky. I'm in basically, I'm surrounded by woods where I live. But this time of year, I can see Sirius in the south. February and March is the best time for me to see the dog star. And I gaze on that star. It blinks Norse code at me. I swear I get messages from it. And I don't feel that with the other stars. And you can find it. It's about 20 something degrees off the southern horizon towards like 10, 11 at night, at least here in upstate New York. And next to Jupiter, it's the brightest in the sky. Jupiter's going to be more to your west, and it's going to be, but when that's happening, it's going to be brighter. So the next brightest thing, if you know Orion's belt, you can follow the belt downwards in an angle and find the star Sirius. So anyway, meditate on that. That's I believe it's a portal energy that's giving us information or helping to provide frequencies here. We have a lot of energy, in the stars, the planets, and what have you that are supporting the frequency here on Earth, or in this physical 3D reality, as it were. Content I can see from Round Top. Yeah, I bet you can see from Round Top. Yeah, you can see from everywhere. This is the time of year. The winter's the time of year, and then it's called the dog star. So when we start the dog days of summer at the very end of July, that's when you start to see Sirius. It's a fixed star of 14 degrees Cancer. So that's when you start to see Sirius, right in the pre-dawn hours, at the very eastern horizon, rising in the east, just a little bit before the sun, and that's when the dog days of summer begin. Interesting little fact, if you guys care. So last but not least, let's get a moves to darker underworld. Yeah, the North Star. Yeah, so I'm just reading your comments, Lyra Cats fans. Yeah, I'm definitely part Lyran. I mean, I have the reputation, although I haven't been in practice lately, of being able to coax any scaredy cat from hiding. I don't know. Janice isn't on, but she would joke and say that's when she knew she wanted to be my girlfriend, when I was able to coax her scaredy cat out of the closet when I came over to her house the first time. All right. Anyhow, so here's the that's Lyran magic. So I've always had an affinity with. I love dogs too, but I've always had an affinity with cats. So anyhow, we've got Rosetta is the card that I pulled. This is Doreen Virtue's messages from the angels. Here's what Rosetta looked like, very cherub-like to me. I want to say I love the little harp too. And you have a gift for working with young people, and your divine purpose involves helping and teaching or parenting children. So for us, maybe acknowledge that and interact more with children. This may be a specific message for some people, but as I'm talking, I feel like what Spirit's saying that's part of it, but they want us to embrace our inner child also. And by saying that, that's not doing, cliche-ish like inner child work or whatever. It has its place. So I don't mean to sound negative about that whole mindset or whatever, but more than that, to what's the right word? To embrace our own inner child, our own inner innocence, basically. And sometimes we can do that through interacting with children, or doing some what's the right word? Regression repatterning work. I shared that was actually on Spirit Mind Family. Although I talked about this meditation here on YouTube. Spirit Mind Family is our Patreon group. You guys can join that also. That'll be on the pinned comment as well. By the way, it's Dark Night of the Soul month on Spirit Mind Family. So all the exclusive videos that we do, the channeling with the master teachers, the meditations and the posts and everything that we're doing, it's helping us through any challenges that can maybe coming up in our awakening process. So we go through these dark nights of the soul. So we're going to cover things like repatterning and shadow integration, and how to deal with things like anxiety, depression, or things like that come up on our awakening process. So anyway, there'll be information on the pinned comment, Patreon, Spirit Mind Family. Only $5 to join, and hundreds of dollars worth of energy and information, as part of that. So, and extra channeling with the master teachers. Yes. So children are blessings. So for those of you that are fortunate enough to be able to be around children, make a point to do that more and work with our own inner child. That's our heart. That's our trust, our innocence, our magnificence, our natural connection to spirit. Remember, young children haven't closed the veil yet. They haven't been programmed to do that. So they're the ones that are pointing and talking about your dead relatives. I mean, in my children's groups, I've had kids no more than 3 years old saying, talking about Jesus and the angels, and the parents going, nobody ever taught her that or him that, because they're just still naturally very open. So anyway, much gratitude to you guys. We're going to end now. I don't have this on the schedule yet, so I don't know what night we're going to do, but I always like to do a new moon forecast in lead of the new moon, what to expect in this lunar cycle, because every lunar cycle is a lunar new year, right? Well, not the lunar new year. That comes up on the 10th. That's always the day after the Aquarian new moon. Um, but it's a whole new cycle. So if you understand the energies right at the moment of the new moon, that gives you that blueprint. Yeah, and having that understanding that what energies that you're dealing with, and then the month kind of writes upon that blueprint, or there's another word, I can't think of it. I need breakfast. I've had an orange and a cup of tea is all I've had so far today. So anyway, signing off. I love you. Thank you for being here and being part of this beautiful community. I'm so grateful to all of you. Thank you. And have a great rest of your weekend. The sun's shining, so I'm going to get a little vitamin D today. This is only the second day. I mean, I think January had maybe 2 or 3 sunny days. It reminds me of last July, that every day rained and it was cloudy. Anyway, thank you all. Enjoy. If you're in the Northeast, enjoy the sunshine, or wherever you are, enjoy the sunshine, or enjoy the clouds or the rain or the snow if that's what it is. Good day. Good weekend.